There is a dirty little secret in the spiritual community. We sell awakening as love, light, and high vibes. But no one talks about what happens when you turn on that light and you become terrified of what you see in the shadows. You start meditating. You're doing the shadow work. You feel a shift. And suddenly, you want to drink more than you have in years. You're craving cigarettes, sugar, or scrolling TikTok for 5 hours straight until your brain goes numb. Why, if we are waking up, why are we trying so hard to go back to sleep? This isn't a moral failing. It is a structural defect in how we approach spiritual growth. Welcome to the investigation. Understand why this happens, we have to redefine what addiction actually is. If we look at the clinical definition, it's compulsive engagement in rewarding stimuli despite adverse consequences. But if we look deeper at the spiritual definition, addiction is much simpler. Addiction is a misplaced hunger for spirit. We've all heard the cliché of the God-shaped hole. It's real. It is an inherent sense of separation from source, from oneness. The awakening process brings huge awareness to that hole. You suddenly feel the emptiness more acutely than ever before. The mistake we make is trying to fill an infinite void with finite things. You feel a lack of connection, so you seek connection through sex or social media validation. You feel a lack of peace, so you seek peace through alcohol. You feel a lack of energy, so you chase dopamine through stimulants or sugar. The first finding of our investigation is this: your addiction is not evil, it's just confused. It is a spiritual craving that got lost on its way to the soul and ended up in the body instead. But why does it flare up now? Why does it get worse right when you commit to getting better? I want to bring in the perspective of trauma expert Dr. Gabor Mate. His central thesis is that we shouldn't ask why the addiction, we should ask why the pain. For years, your addiction, whether it's to work or social media, has acted as a lid on your trauma. It's a highly effective numbing agent that keeps old wounds quiet. It helped you survive. Then you have a spiritual awakening. You decide to lift the lid. You start feeling your feelings. You start seeing your patterns. And guess what? It hurts. It is overwhelming. Your ego, which is designed to protect you from pain, hits the panic button. It screams, "Put the lid back on. This is too much light. We need darkness to feel safe." The flare-up of old habits during an awakening isn't a sign you're failing. It's a sign that the numbing agent is wearing off, and your ego is terrified of feeling the raw reality underneath. You are trying to use old tools to navigate a new frequency. Let's look at the mechanics of this. Think of a spiritual awakening as a massive voltage upgrade to your nervous system. You are downloading higher frequencies light codes, if you want to use that term. If your nervous system is frayed by trauma or your body is out of balance, that high voltage doesn't feel like bliss. It feels like anxiety. It feels like vibrating out of your skin. When that energy gets too high, your system seeks to ground itself. And what is the fastest way to ground dense energy? Heavy substances, dense foods, low vibrational behaviors. You aren't just getting high, you are subconsciously using these dense substances as an anchor to pull your vibration back down to a level that feels familiar and safe to your nervous system. It's a safety valve. A destructive one, but a safety valve nonetheless. If you are watching this and you are deep in the shame spiral because you meditated this morning and indulged tonight, stop. Shame is the fuel that keeps the addiction cycle burning. You have to realize that your shadows are waving flags right now because the light is finally hitting them. You've identified the void. That's step one. The investigation is just beginning. We understand why hunger exists, but what happens when the awakening gets truly difficult? In the next part of our investigation, we're going into the dark night of the soul and looking at the specific ways we use escapism and how sometimes spirituality itself becomes the new drug. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next episode. Please let me know in the comments what old habits resurfaced when you began your journey. Let's talk about it in the light.